cup shattered before anyone noticed the shaking, and the sound was sharp enough to slice through the noise of the station. Because the alien waitress's hands were trembling so badly that glass met metal and glowing. Liquid spilled like blood across the table, and Jonah Hale felt the familiar weight of fear press into his chest, as if the universe itself had leaned closer to remind him that he did not belong here. Jonah was not strong anymore. He was not brave. He was a single father with tired eyes, a damaged leg, and a child asleep against his shoulder, hiding in a place that tolerated humans only because it had learned how to use them. He had once been a soldier, once believed in flags and orders, once trusted leaders who promised safety. But all of that had ended the night his wife died during a so-called evacuation that never came, leaving him alone in the stars, with a newborn and a broken heart. Since then, he survived quietly. He worked small jobs. He kept his head down. He learned which stations hated humans and which ones only pretended not to. This one was worse. The alien waitress stood tall, violet-skinned, elegant, with eyes that refused to meet his, and yet she could not stop shaking as if something inside her was screaming to escape. Jonah did not want trouble. He just wanted food. He just wanted to rest before moving on again. But when she nearly dropped the plate and flinched like a beaten animal, something inside him cracked open, because he recognized fear too well. He asked her why she was shaking, softly, carefully, without command or anger. And the moment the words left his mouth, her breath caught, as if he had said something forbidden. She whispered that he needed to leave. She whispered that he had already been seen. Jonah did not understand until the room went quiet, until armored figures began to rise from their seats, until the air itself seemed to hum with danger. He stood, pain tearing through his injured leg, clutching his daughter closer, and that was when the waitress leaned in and spoke words that changed everything. She told him humans were hunted here. She told him grief made them powerful. She told him the rulers believed human suffering fueled ancient machines buried beneath the station. Machines that bent space and time. Machines that made empires possible. Single fathers were especially valuable, she said, because love mixed with loss created the strongest energy of all. Jonah laughed at first, because it sounded insane, because the universe had already taken too much from him. But then the first shot ripped through the wall behind him, and the station exploded into chaos. Alarms screamed. People ran. Soldiers shouted, orders filled with hatred and hunger. The waitress shoved his daughter into his arms and took a blast meant for him, her armor cracking, her body slamming into the floor as purple blood stained the metal. Jonah ran. He ran through smoke and fire, through memories of battle he never wanted, through tunnels that smelled like fear, while drones hunted him and soldiers screamed that the human vessel must not escape. His leg failed him. He fell. He crawled. He hid in shadows, whispering promises to his child that he did not know how to keep. Along the way, he remembered everything he had lost. The home that burned, the leaders who betrayed civilians for treaties. The moment he realized humanity survived, not by strength, but by refusing to stop moving forward. When the soldiers finally cornered him near the reactor chamber, weapons raised, faces twisted with purpose, Jonah knew this was where it ended. His daughter cried. His arms shook. He felt smaller than he ever had. Then the alien waitress appeared again, burned and bleeding, standing between him and death. She confessed the truth through tears. She was born to guard the machine. She was taught to hate humans. She was told they were dangerous beasts, but she had watched him carry his child through fire. She had watched him refuse to abandon her when she fell. She said the machine was awake now. She said his pain had already begun the process. The soldiers fired. The waitress screamed. Jonah felt heat tear through his chest. He fell. The world faded. In the darkness, something ancient listened, not to anger, not to fear, to memory, to love, to every human who had suffered and still held on. The machine responded, not as a weapon, but as a mirror. Power surged through the station. Gravity twisted. Soldiers were thrown back. Walls cracked. Jonah rose, wounds closing, not as a god, but as a man who refused to break. He shut the machine down. He burned the mark from human blood forever. The rulers fled. The hunters dropped their weapons. When it was over, Jonah knelt on the cold floor, holding his child, beside an alien who chose mercy over duty. The station was silent, and in that silence, a truth spread across the stars. Humanity was not cursed. Humanity was feared because it endured, and sometimes endurance was enough to change destiny.